What's up, vets? What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing today? You know what? I did not check this microphone. Let me check it real quick. Yeah, yeah, I'm good on the mic. But I felt like talking a little bit more. I just got off talking on my other channel. And I want to bring up a subject with you guys that I got asked about regarding vets with PTSD. So I have a friend who knows a friend who has PTSD. And he was asking me about it because he's concerned about him. And I don't suffer from PTSD. Okay. I know several veterans who do. And I'm coming on here because I'm looking for information from you veterans who suffer from PTSD. Now, I've been in a group therapy before with people who suffer from PTSD. I've been in discussions outside the VA with veterans who suffer from PTSD. And they informed me of a lot of different things I was unaware of with veterans who suffer from PTSD. The most common answer I get from veterans who suffer from PTSD is they can't stand being around crowds. They can't stand being around a lot of people. The slightest thing will trigger them sometimes, and they have to watch what they do and where they are because sometimes they lose control and they don't realize where they are or what they're doing. Those are like the most common things that I hear from people who suffer from PTSD. Now, I don't know how true that is because, again, I don't suffer from PTSD. I'm only telling you what I've been told, what I've listened to in different conversations. And the reason why I'm asked this question is because of behavior and things that happen. And people go, okay, they can do all these things and they're fine. And then all of a sudden they get in trouble. And the first thing they scream is they have PTSD. So while I'm coming on now is to ask people who have PTSD, whether it's mild or severe, can you describe to me to help me understand a little bit more to explain to someone who asks me about PTSD? Because I look at some of the current situations of behaviors of veterans out there, especially those veterans that travel, and it makes me question PTSD. Okay, I'm being honest. It makes me question things with PTSD because I notice when I talk to some of the guys and even the guys who are online on Saturdays, just from being in the military, you're going to be hyper vigilant with a lot of things, right? If you ever watch Love and Freedom's video, one of the things Mike always does in his video, whether he's sitting and talking like this in his car or his last video he just put out where he's walking across in Los Algodones, Mike will always do this. And a lot of the guys, and y'all can notice this the next time we go live on Saturday, always do this. Mike will always look left, look right, look up in his rearview mirror if he's in the car, or know his wife is behind him because he's always watching around him. That's a military trait. I do that to this day. Okay. If I go into a building I've never been in before, I'm observing everything in that building. Where's the exit? Where are the stairs? Okay. If something was to go wrong, how can I get up out of here? The same with my apartment when I moved in here. Okay. I know I'm not going to be on the first floor. I know if the power go out, how the hell I'm going to get up out of here? Right? I keep a bag packed with some stuff in it in case I just got to grab some shit and go. I'm being 100 with y'all. Okay. That's how I've always treated it when I travel overseas. I keep one bag always ready to go. It's got clothes in it. It got shoes in it. Damn everything else. If I got to get the hell out right now, I'm out. If this building catches on fire, I got one bag that got stuff in it with all my important documents and I'm out. That's the way I've always treated it. But I've noticed with certain veterans who are real hyper vigilant with stuff, you can tell with certain guys, they get a little antsy, right? And they kind of moving around. They like, okay, let me stand up for a second to get myself together and come back and sit back down. You notice things like that. But I'm trying to get a better understanding because like I said earlier, the majority of the people that I know that I've talked to who suffer from PTSD, they have triggers. And when they get those triggers, bro, like you don't want to be around them. When they get upset, they kind of lose who they are, and you don't want to be around them. Which makes me again question some of this stuff that I see online and in person with people who supposedly got PTSD, because they don't fit any of those categories. Who I got on with me? What's up, Mr. Morris? How you doing? Mr. Steele, how you doing today? K-Mac, what's going on with you? So I'm curious to know, guys, and I'm being serious. I'm curious to know, those of you who suffer from PTSD, can you enlighten me? Can you explain? As a matter of fact, I'm going to put the link in the chat if anybody wants to come on to try to talk. And you don't have to be on camera. You can just, turn the camera off and just talk. But I'm curious to know, man, because I get this question and I really don't know how to explain it other than my experience. What's up, T-Mix? Other than my experience of being in counseling with people who suffer from PTSD and being around veterans who suffer from PTSD. So I give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. I got a friend in Phoenix. He lives in Avondale. He's got PTSD really bad, okay? There ain't no faking this, bro, because I've been in the car with him. He was driving. A car got a little too close, and you can see he like, okay, like you can almost feel like he was telling himself, okay, man, just calm down, and the driver let the window down and threw their finger out, and he went off, pulled his gun. I said, bro, what the hell are you doing? Right? Pulled his gun. I said, no. Hold his hand down with the gun. I said, no, pull over, get off the road, bro. He had to get out of the car and literally pace up and down the road to calm himself down. Now, had I not been in the car, I don't know what would happen. And this is the honest truth. Okay? But I'm just saying, man, I have never suffered from PTSD. I've seen people, and like I said with my boy, I've seen him. And it makes me wonder sometimes, man, with some of these guys here who say they got PTSD, and I'm like, I don't know about that. Victor, what's up?
I'm okay. How you doing, brother? Happy holidays. Good, man.
Same to you. Happy holiday. Oh, my apologies. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, because I know I probably won't be on tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving. What's going on, man?
Oh, I'm a vet just like yourself.
Okay.
I'm calling you from New York.
Okay, bro. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'm part of the Hondo Club.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, right now, what I'm doing is I'm helping other brothers trying to get their stuff together.
Okay. Now, do you suffer from PTSD?
No, but I have other things that I had qualified for, and I was in I've been in Afghanistan and Iraq for the last 15 years, right?
Damn.
And I probably do. Yeah, I retired and then I became a DOD contractor.
Okay, cool.
And then from there, I have met a lot of guys that have suffered from it, and they've got weird type of ratings, right? And I'm not sure if it's based off of the medical evidence, right? Why they got the ratings that they got, but just to bring it up to the group, they started out. Some got 30, some got 0, some got 0, and said it's part of what is that? Insomnia with a sleep disorder. They've changed the rules.
Right.
Yes, because I noticed that you keep up on all of the regulations, but that CFR 38 is really where a lot of people need to start when they're looking to get increases and just to know, what you're eligible for. Because without that, I think a lot of times when I listen to them, you can't speak like how we speak to each other we need to speak medically. We need to say cervical. We need to say lumbar. We need
Correct.
to say sleep disorder. You know,
Correct.
we need to tell these people that, because if not, when we go into these exams with these doctors, you know that they only give us like 10, 15 minutes max.
Right. And they
And
act
these
like they read your medical records, and they really don't. They just go
What?
off of what you tell them.
And I noticed also that they be shooting off the hip also with some stuff, right? They'll try to diagnose you there and say, okay, we're going to give you, say, this particular drug at this amount of milligrams, right? But then they give you the form saying, hey, it's going to cause side effects, secondary effects on all of these medications.
Right.
But I've been looking at some other brothers, right? And they're trying the natural form, like, you know, they're changing up their diet, you know, they're using different herbs and stuff like that. They're getting away from meat, you know, to see if that changes also, because maybe there's something in the food that we're getting that's kind of like making us the way that we are. Am I off, or am I on to something? What do you think?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. And then from there, I noticed that a lot of brothers and sisters, right? Because we can't forget them also, right?
Correct.
On a daily basis, a lot of them are realizing that this post-traumatic stress, this depression, this mood disorder, all of this stuff, especially living here in New York City, right? And I'm not saying anything about the environment. I would say to people, you know, come and visit, you know, no issues. But this environment here, this hustle, this bustle, you know, it's just constantly like going. And I think tranquility is missing out of some of these guys' day. Do they even sit down and, like, you know, meditate? I mean, I have some what is that called? Well, I have hearing loss, right?
Okay.
And they give me hearing aids. They gave me hearing aids, and they give me raindrops. They give me waterfalls and stuff like that. That seems to relax me and put me out. You know, puts me to sleep.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely agree with you that there's no tranquil. Yeah, there's no way to relax in a lot of these situations. People still working. There's people who try to maintain for their family, and it's hard. It is hard, bro. It's hard for a lot of people. It's hard for a lot of brothers. It's hard for a lot of sisters out there, veterans, who are trying to deal with what they got going mentally and trying to work a full-time job or trying to just make it through the day. It really
and then
is.
the process, and then, you know, I agree. And I noticed one thing: the service, since I came back to America, it's not that great. Okay, it's hit or miss. You know, you might get a good doctor, you might get a good nurse, but for the most part, I'm gonna say it: New York is rude. They're not nice people. That's up in the VA.
Right.
Okay? And it's like, sometimes I wonder, is it their medicine? Is it their doctors? Is it their money? You know, because the way that they're holding on to it, it's a service, man. Just do your job, man, and, you know, things will be better.
Right. Now, I don't want to make excuses for him, but Mr. Steele, how you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Mongrel?
Not too bad. Let me just say this, man. Doctors are under a lot of pressure to VA. I'm not trying to make excuses for them. Don't get me wrong. They're under a lot of pressure. They are under pressure to see as many people as they can in that 10 to 12 hour period they're there. So they try to kick out as many people as they can to meet that quota they got every day. That's not making an excuse, bro. I'm not trying to make an excuse for the behavior, but I'm just trying to explain that those people are under a lot of pressure. Because when you go to your appointment, normally at the VA, you usually have to sit there and wait. Your appointment might be 12:30. You get there at 12. You may not get in there till 1:15 because they just saw that person. Okay. Again, I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just trying to explain. Right. So sometimes, man, when I go in and I see my doctor is more stressed out than I am, I'll just try to be like relaxing to my doctor. Like, hey, how you doing? You okay? You look like you're a little stressed. Right. And then I'll start talking to them. They'll open up and then they'll hear me. The best thing you can do in these situations, Victor, is to be the nicest person you can be. You may be the only nice person they talk to that day. And they're going to remember you. Believe it or not, they might have seen 100 people that day, but they're going to remember you. So the one advice I would give the people out there, not advice, but I would just say, even though they may be rude to you, you don't have to be rude to them. Show them some kindness and see how far it gets you.
But okay, and I agree. I agree, right? But I have to tell you, it started at the reception desk. The brother came in at the reception desk. That's where the rudeness started, and then it just escalated. That's the issue.
Right. I understand, sir. And I'm telling you, man, sometimes you have to calm yourself down because somebody could be having a bad day, right? And you just saying, how you doing, man? You okay? Will calm people down. I understand your frustration, but trust me, I've been going to the VA a long time. I've seen a lot, heard a lot. You got volunteers in there that are a-holes. You got all kinds. But sometimes you have to be the bigger person and just, hey, okay, no problem. You know, they sound rude. You're like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll stand right here till you do whatever you need to do and then call me up when you get done and move on from there. Because it ain't going to go no smoother getting mad with them. It ain't going to go no smoother being an asshole with them. So the best thing you can do, man, is just be a little compassion, show a little kindness. I know you're upset. I know you want to get in and get out, but it ain't going to go no better until somebody gives. And I'd rather give than have them give because I don't know what they're going to put in my records, right? I don't want them to put something in my records I don't want. I want them to say, okay, this vet does everything I asked this vet to do. It's just not working. Cool. Versus, well, this guy don't want to listen. He don't want to take his meds. He don't want to do this. He don't want to do that. So all I'm saying is, kindness goes a long way. Mr. Steele, my apologies for having you on, but having you on, holding on so long. But what's going on with you?
I'm doing good, man. Just trying to call a liar with you. It's all good.
Okay.
And and you're right on point with that. That's exactly what you're saying. Is right on point. Cause I had to go to one in Charles Street, South Carolina, yesterday, and that reception desk, you gotta look at those guys. Like I said, I wasn't gonna let them get me upset, but I finally got to the appointment, the middle of the appointment. But I was there, man. The doctor was stressed out. I told him, man, just calm down a minute, man. Just calm down. How your family doing? What just calm down a minute.
You the psychiatrist.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, man, they're gonna picture my kids and all that. And I like work with Charleston down here, but then they tell my case, your mental stuff. I said, yeah, I got this going on, but most of the calls are pain, because they write everything down. How your pain today? 7. It's a regular appointment. I got pain. I just didn't make it down here. I had to drive 2 hours down here, which they pay me. I ain't complaining about that. So that's part of my therapy. I said, all of me, I can go right here in Savannah, but I'll drive to Charleston. I say that's part of my therapy, and they put that in there. Say it's best for me to drive down to Charleston. And see, that's all you got to do. Yeah, some of them just trying to rush it through there, but like I said, I felt myself in a counseling session yesterday with my psychologist. But you're right on point, though. You said exactly the right point.
Like I said, I'm not trying to make excuses for the VA, man, but you got to understand, these are people. They got feelings, and they see a lot of veterans, bro. They see a lot. Yeah. And it is stressful on them as well. But like I said, man, the best thing you can do is show them some kindness. Because they the gatekeepers, bro. Whether y'all believe it or not, they the gatekeepers for whether you going to get that next increase or you going to get that denial. So, that's what I would advise people to do. Pissed. Okay. Let's see. I got worse using the VA. Well, yeah, it doesn't work for everybody. Sometimes you can request to be seen outside the VA, or you can try community care. Community care is another one that you could go to. If you feel like the VA in whatever area you're in is not working, you can try community care. Understand where he's coming from, but my advice is never don't take it personally, because like I said, dude, they got a lot on their mind. Yeah, don't take it personally. Kill them with softness. Okay. See, here, community care. I got a community care as soon as I could. I avoided the VA hospital as much as possible in Houston, so I got community care as much as possible, and the phone with VA appointments. Okay. You hear that, Victor?
Yes. I hear that. I had a question also, right, for you and Mr. C, right? Have you guys checked in to any of the SMC?
What do you mean by
special monthly? Yeah. Do you see what you qualify for as far as the K and right. The S and all that? Have you guys had any success with that?
Yeah, I get 2 SMCs.
You get the K?
I got K and I got L and a half.
And you get one for homebound, or do you get one for aid?
I get one for aid and attendance, and the other one I get for loss of use.
And did you reference the CFR, the Code Federal Regulations, when you did your research?
Yes, I followed exactly what was on the guidelines. The doctor filled out the form, exactly what they were asking for on the guidelines to see if I met the qualifications. It took about 5 different CMP exams because I'm here in South America to actually get it done. And it eventually got done. So, yeah, it takes a little while. I'm not going to tell you it's an easy process, as most of you guys know who dealing with the VA, but I got it done. So, yeah.
And since you live over in Latin America, how about the foreign medical program? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I use the foreign medical program here. I've used it in all the countries I've been in.
Okay, good. So you got reimbursement and everything? Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. C.
No, I think he's on the phone. Yes. So there's a process when you go to get reimbursed. You have to fill out these forms. I would advise anyone that's going overseas to fill out that form first before you go. I mean, you can do it when you get to the country, but just to know before you leave what all you entitled to, because they're only supposed to see you for what's service connected. And then when you go to get your medications or you go to get care, you normally gonna have to pay out of pocket first. And get reimbursed, and it can take anywhere from 60 to 120 days before you get your money back. Unless you go to a spot like Uncle Allen has, which is a third-party clinic, where they'll have you fill out that form again. You go through them, and then they bill the foreign medical program, and you just get seen at their clinic.
Now, I heard you talk about Uncle Allen. I think what he's doing is great. Have you thought about doing something like that in Colombia or any place?
No. No, I don't want to get involved.
And when you when you say no, right? Why are you saying it like that? I mean, it generates money, and also you're helping people. So why wouldn't you attempt something like that? I think it'd be a good move, a good legacy to leave behind.
But Marcus, could I answer that, Marcus?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, but see, that's a lot of work for one thing. You're trying to help people, and then with a VA claim, you got to take accountability, do the work yourself. You can't sit back and want nobody to do it. That's a lot of work. I help a lot of people, but I don't do it for the money. I just help them out and give them information. You can go mark out YouTube and study all the YouTube and figure it out yourself. But that's work. That's why a lot of people and people expect you to do all the work while they just sat back with a hand twiddle. But that's not it. Mark, he could add to that.
Yeah.
Well, when you say, go ahead, Mark.
I was just gonna say, bro, I have to have someone with me to help me, which is why I get L and a half. But that is a lot of work, bro. You got to set up a location. You got to find all the doctors. You got to get contracts for the medication. You got to get contracts for the place you at. You got to pay the rent. You got a lot to set up with logistics. And then once you do that, then you got all these veterans coming in, and then you got to have the patience and the attitude to deal with all these people and these different personalities. Okay, it all sounds good, and the money probably looks good when you're writing it down on paper, but the headaches that he probably deals with some of these people who come and say you get a veteran that comes there and he screws up, he got no money, he flat broke, he done gave his money to some girl, he got nothing, he on the streets. Now he looking for you to help him, and that's not what you're there for. So it's like, no, man, I would have loved to do something like that to help my fellow veterans, man, other than just being on YouTube. But I just can't see it. I don't have the patience for one. And for two, there's just too many different personalities out there of people who are just going to do it their way, regardless of what you tell them, until they screw up, and then they're going to come to you for help. So I'm like, no, I'm good.
So also, I have a question for you and Mr. C. Are you guys involved in the PACT Act, the 3M lawsuit, and the Camp Lejeune water? Are you guys familiar with that?
Yeah, I'm not in either of those because I was not in during the time for the Camp Lejeune. I'm not a Marine, so I wouldn't have been at the Camp Lejeune anyway. I believe it was from 1964, I think, up to 1982 or
87.
something like that.
That's right.
87, yeah, something like that. And then as far as the 3M, no, I'm not on that lawsuit either.
How about the PACT Act?
The PACT Act, no, the ones that they've named so far are none of the areas I was in. I personally were in. So there's a couple that's supposed to be coming up that I'm involved in too, that I know of. But as far as right now, no, I'm not.
Okay, because I know one person that was on your panel. I can't remember his name, but he actually works with chemicals. You know, when he was on the base, and he was saying that a lot of bases with the disposal of waste, you know, might have affected many bases, not just one base.
Right, Mr. B. You're talking about Mr. B. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was saying, where can you reference to see any of that stuff other than going, you know, because you could do the 1-800 number and call the VA, and they'll walk you through on the PACT Act. But as far as looking to see what bases, because I said, you know, because I did 20 years and I've been all over the place, and I know for a fact they did. We had to get rid of that chemicals, all of that stuff.
Go ahead, Mr. Steele.
Yeah. I'm not. I wasn't in that arena at all with that at all. I was in that 80 and 84. I wasn't in none of that.
Okay.
One thing I was exposed to was in Germany when we got disposed of those nerve aids, the one that you could stick in your leg. When you,
yeah.
Now I had to help get rid of all those when I was in Parmesan, Germany. But I never was in that. But it's good to radish with all that stuff. Get on the radish list, and when they do open it up, it'll help you out. Just go ahead and radish in that arena.
Right. Yeah, for any other conditions you may have, respiratory, or any kind of cancers you may have, it may have come from those chemicals from on that base. So that's definitely something that you want to get service connected if that was you. Let me see. Where's the caller originating from? Sounds like he maybe just moved to New York. JQ wants to know, are you from New York?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born in Harlem and moved to the Bronx, and I've been in New York for about 58 years.
Okay.
I've been a New Yorker for 58 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, that's your home. Got it. Let's see. I know all my doctors at the VA hospital. I do my homework on my conditions to make theirs better. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. There you go, Mr. Lawson. Appreciate that, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Just show people that you care a little bit, and it goes a long way, man. I try to be as polite and as nice as I can. Even when I'm in pain, I'm like, damn, but it ain't going to do me no good to cuss nobody out because they can take your file and move it right to the end of the line. You there even longer. So it's like, what, ma'am? Yes.
Okay. All right. Have a good Thanksgiving.
That's the way I handle it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hello, Markel. I hear everyone's comments. It really depends on the person you deal with at the VA. My advice to everyone, please be nice. Make sure you check your medical notes. Yep. Absolutely. I always get a copy. I don't know how you guys do it, but whenever I do a CMP exam, The next day, I can't do it as quickly here because I got to wait till it hits va.gov, or excuse me, my Healthy Vet. But I always get a copy of my CNP exam right after I'm done with it, right when they report it, because I want to see what's written and if I agree with what's written. Because if it's something on there I don't agree with, I got the opportunity to try to get it changed before they make a decision on it. You guys understand what I'm saying? Instead of waiting till the decision is made,
Yes.
you get an opportunity to go see what was written about you in that CNP exam. And if you agree with what they wrote, that's something that I would do for anybody that's doing any type of exam like that. When they get ready to make a rating decision, you want to see what they're saying and if you agree with it. Let's see.
Now, as far as the
go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, as far as the looking online for your information, usually like up here in New York, they say within 72 hours, like after you do say a EMG, X-ray, MRI, then that information will be uploaded. But when I did, because we both were in the farm medical program, when I tried to look at my exam, I couldn't find it.
Oh, it's gonna take forever. Yeah, it takes us forever because first of all, when you're dealing with FMP, okay, you got to understand that does not go directly to your medical file like it is in the States. That first goes to the embassy, and from the embassy, they then send it over to the VA. Then it goes to Janesville. It takes a lot longer when you're overseas. It's not like in the States, man. You do a CNP, they drop it off Monday. You can see it Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning. Here, you talking at least 30, 45 days before you see it.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
It's there.
But I only got the record. All I got was the record, and I got a letter saying that I got an increase. But it's actually seeing it online, you know, like word for word, you know, what the doctor said, you know, because I think you guys mentioned you had this thing called drop foot, right? I have something similar, if not exactly, to that. And I was trying to see, you know, what all took place. And to this day, I still couldn't find it. And when I went to these guys, they don't have the records. They have the rating, but they don't have the records. That's the reason why I asked, because, you know, you're familiar with the farm medical program.
Where are you located? What part of the world were you in when you were using FMP?
I was in Afghanistan, and I went to Abu Dhabi and Dubai. I went there to do through the embassy, and then the consulate, they contacted me, and they set up everything. Literally, when I mean everything, except for hotel. And I went to the exam, and I went to, say, like 7 or 8 stations, because I had put in a pretty big claim. I did the MRIs, I did the X-rays, dermatology, foot doctor, all of that. I did all of that. You know what I mean? Loss of use of organ, everything was done there.
Wow.
And then I never got to see the document. They said you have to contact the VA. So what the consulate did was they took all that paperwork and sent it back to the embassy, and it went back in a official pouch, and I never saw anything else. All I did was get the rating. So I was just wondering about yours.
It should be on My Healthy Vet, but it takes a while to get there. Now, I will tell you this. Depending on which end of the world you're in.
2015.
There's 2 locations that handles vets overseas, depending on where you are. Anything south of the U.S., Latin America, Mexico, anything south, that's handled by Houston. There's a Houston office that handles all veterans FMP in Houston, Texas. If you're in other locations, say you in South Korea, okay, that's handled by Pittsburgh office, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay, so it's 2 different locations.
Mine was out of Philly.
Philadelphia,
or was it Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Mine was
Okay.
out of I got reimbursed and everything. I mean,
Right.
the service was great. I'm not complaining. The only thing is, I've never been able to see the medical evidence. I've never
You
been
can
able to see it.
If you can't find it on My Healthy Vet, you can put in a FOIA request to get a copy of your medical records, which should have it in there.
What you talking about, the C file?
Yeah, your C file, or you can just go and request those records themselves. Since you're in the States, you can go to a company pen office and put in a request just for those records if you want to have them just for your personal use.
I did.
And
I
they didn't do it
recently
for you?
did that. That's the reason why I had. No, they didn't have it. From 2015, they didn't have it.
Then you need to contact Pittsburgh because that's where they should be held. Because that's who set it up for you, and ask them to get the records. You probably got to fill out another FOIA request for them, but they should definitely have it. They wouldn't have gave you the increase without it.
Right. That's what I mean. But since then, most people, once they get to 100, they leave the VA alone. They don't ask for anything. But I was looking to see if it was in any of my what is that? What they call e-benefits. I went to e-benefits and tried to look up my
Yeah,
my
on
information.
My Healthy Vet. Yeah, you got to go to My Healthy
Yeah.
Vet.
Yeah, and then I pressed the blue button,
Right.
and nothing was there.
Man, it's a ton of, it's a lot on that blue button, man. I got so tired of looking at all them damn records I got. Shit. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, not much, brother. How y'all doing today?
Not much.
All right. What's
Good,
up, Mike?
good. I see you put QTC in there because I got a call from QTC, man. They trying to give me an increase for my back.
Yeah, QTC, and like you said, it all depends on what area you're in. Now, I've had some good exams with QTC, and I have some bad exams with QTC. Now, the one that I really don't understand is when the VA asks for them to, clarify they results from the exam, they'll send it back sometime to the same doctor that did your exam. But I had a case where they said no because I went to that doctor twice, and that doctor, I guess, had gave me a bad exam, and they forwarded to another doctor in that same office, which that doctor overwrote what the previous doctor had done. And I asked for copies of the exam as soon as I was done, like a couple weeks later, because at first I was looking for them on va.gov and help e-benefits, and they wasn't there because they told me that they don't put their notes in there. Only you're going to get your CMP exam notes from the VA on that website, only if the VA does it. Third parties won't be there. You have to request them, but not right away. They be done because they give them about 90 days to have that exam complete before you see it. And a lot of people don't understand that. That gives them enough time to make a decision. Give them enough time to make a decision before you have a chance to dispute it, because they be already done made that exam, that result, that decision before you can see the notes.
But thanks for that update, because I definitely didn't know that. But the way that you just explained it is correct. It wasn't done by the VA. It was done by a third party through the embassy, and that's the reason why, even to this day, Markel, Mr. C, and Mike, I still can't find it.
Oh yeah.
I can't find the notes.
It's that is not uncommon. That is not uncommon when you're dealing with a third party, especially QTC. What's the L on the HLR? Something like that.
So, what's the other one? Damn. CES?
Oh, EQ. What is it?
Hell, I can't remember.
QES and
I can't
LHI and QCT, I think.
Yeah, LHI.
Yeah, LHI.
Now, in the human area, and I always tell people, when you're dealing with, I've been to QTC appointments where they just pushing people through and just taking money, man, because they'll see you. They have about 5 other people in the waiting area, and they got like 2 doctors, and they'll see you back there, and they look at, just look up you up and down, move here, move there. Okay, all right, we'll be in touch. But I made a complaint about that. And then when I made a complaint, like you said, you have to be nice because those people have the upper hand. Now me,
Yes.
me, I have to take my wife with me because she the only one know what I'm about. If I see something I don't like, I'm gonna let them know. And that's been one of my bad habits, voicing my opinion, being direct. But at the same time, you got to know when to hold and when to fold, especially when the people are holding that control. So cause you go in there with an ugly attitude, as you stated earlier, them people gonna look at you. He was rude. His credibility is out the door. We don't like dealing with him, and they just gonna mark on your paper, nothing wrong, denial, and send it up, but not even looking at you.
Yep.
So sometimes it ain't like you going in and kissing ass or being, fraudulent about anything or faking it. It's just sometimes you just have to sit down and shut your damn mouth because sometimes a closed mouth will get fed.
Bro,
Okay.
I don't know if you can see that. I just got that email from QTC.
Oh, see, they done start doing better now. QTC. I see K-Mac got his finger up. Uh-oh. Go ahead, K-Mac.
What up, K-Mac? Go ahead, K-Mac.
He got the volume shut off. Look at him. Hey, cut your porn off and listen up, K-Mac.
Come on.
Oh,
okay. I just did a couple of CMPs last week and this week. Here in Illinois, they got 3 companies. I got to call LHI is the one who sets your appointment up, and another one is VESA, is Veteran Services.
Right, that's the one. That's the one that's great.
They don't give you the report the same day. She had to get it prepared to send it to the evaluator.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I had one, I went to see a practitioner. She did a CMP on my right knee. And then I went back again this week. I had to see another doctor that did evaluation on the same right knee and my leg. And I got 2 more coming up next week.
For the same thing? K-Mac must have a delay. Is it for the same thing, K-Mac?
Yeah.
I get you.
No, different things.
Okay.
One for hearing. No, one for hearing, and the first one who did the evaluation, the practitioner, she requested a X-ray.
Oh yeah, they're gonna put that in there because they need that support. They need that medical support when they're making a decision. Even if you had just got an X-ray a day or 2 prior, they want their own.
Yeah, bro. It is hell dealing with the VA system, dude. Especially when you overseas. I'm telling y'all, man. I don't, bro. Because when a doctor writes something here, if it doesn't make sense to them, they're gonna keep sending you to one till it makes sense.
I had an X-ray, but she said it was too old because it was done back in 2015, and she wanted the new one. But the VA didn't ask for no X-ray.
They're not going to ask for no X-ray because they want to make sure they got something that they already said and looked at, and they look at it as not going to change. But that's why the other third party is saying, stuff can change. Things can happen. You could have slipped and fell and cracked something more, or, even that's why they want to update X-ray. Like I said, I don't care if it's only 1 day or 2 days old. They're going to still request for a new X-ray to support their exam. You can't go off of old X-ray. It may have been a glitch in their system, X-ray system or something. It may have didn't show something, or they request you to do a CAT scan versus an X-ray to go more in depth. Now, then when they start requesting CAT scans and stuff like that, they're really on your team because they're trying to help you out.
Yeah, Mike, but also they trying to get paid.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Let's keep it 100 because these third parties are all about the money. These VES, CES, or whoever the hell they are, they're contractors, former VA employees or former friends or whoever.
Right.
That's how they get these contracts.
Now VES.
And,
Now
and,
that Mr.
and you
what is
got
it,
to
Overton.
remember, I was going, all mine was for an increase.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now, Mr. James stated the VES. I totally forgot about them. I'm gonna tell you, VES have always been on my team, especially this one here in Yuma area. She's a young, experienced doctor. I looked at her resume and I checked out all these degrees, all the different universities she attended. And I went in her office and she got all these. I'm talking about the woman, the young lady is very intelligent. And when I went in there, when I first got my rating for my back and my radiculopathy and my neuropathy, my my flat feet and all that stuff, she did all. She was the same doctor. And she remembered when I first walked in there, that's who told me. I told you guys about the story. When she saw me, when I came back, she's like, "You got on your back?" Oh, she said, "Can you don't move?" She said, "Don't do it." She'll tell me, "Can you bend?" You know what? No, I see you in pain. Don't even try it. She'll tell you right there, stop. Don't even do it. And then she said, "Let me help you with your braces. Let me take your braces off." She'll take the braces off. She'll say, "Now stand up, walk." Oh, don't. No, I see you in pain. She'll say, "I can see it right there." You go back for your legs. She say, "Now didn't I just see you? What part did I understand? Like the little song you learned in school. Your knee bone connected to your leg bone. Your knee hip bone connected to your thigh bone. All that." She said, "If you have these issues with your back, just think of it. All of it going to elevate below. You're going to have these issues below." And she just say, "You know what? I mean, she was thorough. She was thorough. She checked it. She checked the record. She had everything. She had already read all my notes. And it wasn't nothing to make a decision on, but just to see me and put hands on me. That's all she wanted to do. And I was in and out so quick, man. The notes was already in the system the next day. She was just that thorough, you know. So it does play a part in where you at, who you dealing with, what kind of doctor. Because as a doctor in Phoenix that I dealt with, his brother, this dude wanted to sit up and talk about, food and restaurants and all. I mean, he went to my benefit until I went in there and started having, the closed mouth syndrome with him. And he seen that I went in there to bullshit and be his friend. So they had to send my stuff back to him 2 or 3 times to clear up. What do you make clarification? Make clarification. And he lost my file one time. To be honest with you, man, he got my stuff mixed up with another vet because he was trying to run his mouth and be friends with everybody. That he put my notes and their notes together.
Damn.
He forgot as he was filling out the form on the computer, he just was writing them down on paper and forgot what he had wrote or what he had said. And I was kind of upset. I called him, make a complaint about it. But when I seen him again, he was to the point. He actually got my increase after the 3rd time, but it all plays on who you're dealing with. That's true.
Hey, Mike, let me have you answer this. And Victor, if you're still here, give your answer, and then I'll go last. Let's see. This is my question. If you're already 100%, if you're getting worse with your conditions or secondary new conditions, should you be filing new claims? Because I'm hearing more you risk getting reduced.
I'm going to put it like this. For me, I look at it as how long has it been since you got your 100%? If your file is new, your claim is new, your decision rating is new. Right now, and I'm gonna be honest with you, right now, they're giving you scare letters when you open up one. They'll send you a letter back and say, we're reconsidering reducing this rating.
Yep.
That's the scare tactic to tell you to shut the hell up and go on. But if your conditions is worse where it can affect your life or death situation, then file. I don't give a damn. File it. But if you got a wrist that you hurt and it's sprung and just pain a little bit on your wrist, it's not going to kill you. Wrap that motherfucker up, put that 10 unit on, and keep pushing. I'm just going to tell you, it ain't worth risking your damn 100%, man. Shit, put some ice on that shit and go on. Pop them damn pills. Smoke you some weed, as Mr. Lawson would say. Shit. That's just my thought. If it's new.
Okay. Well, my thought is based off of some similar, but based off of they told us that they were getting ready to change the rules in March and April of 2022. From that point on, it was to let everybody know that they're on notice. So what they did was they revamped everything. So now my friends that are going through, buddies from the military, right? They're going through it now, and from their experiences that they're telling me about, it's being delayed. But however, you got a more of a 70-30% chance of not being messed with. 70-30.
Yeah, and the 70 outweighed the 30.
Okay, so let me give you mine on this. All right. As Mike said earlier, depends on what it is, especially if you're in the States. It really depends on what it is. Now, if you're overseas, I got a whole different answer for you. But in the States, you get covered for everything at 100%. Everything. And if it's not going to put you in the SMC category, you wasting your time. Because you're still going to be 100%. You just added your risk at 0%. Or you added your finger at 0%. That really did you no good. But what Mike was saying earlier is this. They're going to relook at all of your disabilities. When you put in that claim, if you had something that was kind of questionable, but it ended up going through, they're going to relook at it when you put in a new claim. I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you that they don't reevaluate your entire file. They do. You're going to get a letter telling you, we looked at this again and it continues. Or we looked at this and we think it's gotten better, so we're going to reduce it. That does happen. I don't want anybody to think just because you're 100% P&T, when you put in a claim, they're going to relook at your entire file. They're going to reevaluate your entire file.
Yes.
As Mr. Victor spoke earlier about the changes that they made in March and April, when they sent out the new things for PTSD, when they sent out the new things for hearing, okay? And what me and Mike told you all earlier this year that they did to both of us, reevaluate all our disabilities, not one, not two, all of them, and sent you a letter saying everything continues. So keep that in mind, all right? But for you guys overseas, it makes a difference because overseas you can only be seen for what you're service connected for. Everything else you got to pay out of pocket. Because like in the States, y'all are getting them blue pills for free in the States. You ain't getting them blue pills for free over here if you're not service connected. You got to be service connected for it. The same with the way you go get seen for your back. You're not service connected for it. You're not paying anything out of pocket. You come overseas, you paying for that out of pocket. That is no longer free. So if you're in a situation like that where you're getting ready to go to another country, but you're having a serious issue, and this issue is possibly service connected or is directly service connected, that's something you may want to consider. But if you're living in the States and it's not going to put you in the SMC category, you better leave it alone.
Yeah. Also,
good. That's good. Go ahead.
Now, also, you have to I'm a living proof. I know this for a fact. When I tell you stuff, I'm telling you because it basically happened to me. They will also send you a letter, like I stated, and say, we're looking at reducing this, and because you have put in a secondary to that condition. What they try to do is to keep you from going over that 60, putting you in that SMC category, whatever. They'll lower your previous primary disability to give you that secondary. So it still it don't change that rating. All it does is keep you from going over, for example, like 60% with your leg. If you 60% over, how they go more 60% over on one issue, over 50% is does that put you in a different SMC?
It puts you in the SMC category, depending on what it is. Like with foot drop, 40% puts you in the SMC category.
Right.
It just depends on what it is.
Yeah, they try to do, like, for example, my back, 40% on my back. So I put in the secondaries, for my hip, my foot condition, ankle condition, stuff like that. That's when they send the letter say, okay, we are also looking at reducing your back because I put in for those secondary. That's what they try to do. They'll try to go back and reevaluate to keep you from going over, because the highest you can get. Yeah.
Because that means they got to pay you more. Because in the SMC category, dude, they do screw you. Okay. They try whatever way they can to screw you. I don't know why they do that, but they do. Because there's a lot of you guys who should be getting SMCS, which is another $300 or $400 a month on top of what you're getting. And then there's some of you guys who are in the L category like me that probably should be M. You should probably be getting $1,800 to $2,000 more than you're getting right now. But they find a way to screw you. They do. It's just.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
What do you mean?
For like the drop foot, right?
Right.
Say I have it, right? And so what they did was they gave me 20% for radiculopathy, left low extremity on left and right. Okay, so then now I got 60, 20, 20. Do I qualify?
Not with 20% for drop foot. No.
Huh?
No. Not with 20% for drop foot. You got to have minimum 40% for drop foot. Minimum 40.
Okay.
I didn't know that until I got, more care when I was going through mine about the drop foot. They didn't, and I kept trying to well, damn, I should have been in SMC, but nope, I wasn't over there at 40.
Yeah, you gotta have a minimum of 40%. Bro, I'm like you, Victor. I got it on both sides. I'm 60 on my left side and I'm 20 on my right side.
Yep. I got, it just drop it on both, both AFOs and stuff. They still shit. They like, okay. Yeah. But you know what kind of threw me off? They gave me a Holovagus on one right, but denied the left, even though the x-ray showed that I had it on both.
Bro, that shit don't make no sense. Bro, on my right side, let me tell y'all something how crazy the VA is. On my right side, Mike, I got radiculopathy on my right side, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's from below the knee. What the hell does that even mean? Below the knee. How does it
wow.
Don't make sense. So what? So the nerve that comes from my back that causes it is only damaged below the knee. So whenever I go in to get seen, they look at it and they always ask me, well, what does this mean? I don't know. I was hoping you could tell me what it means. They don't know.
Wow.
But now the one that I'm getting now, the CMP exam for my back is at 40. The lady said it depends on what the doctor says, because if she confirms what they think, it's going to get to 80. They put me in 80. I'm going to move to M2. That's another $2,500 on top of what I'm already getting.
What you can get? I thought 40 was high. You can get on the back.
Hell no. Do you can go all the way up there? Because it depends. Now, not just the back, the nerves.
The nerves. Okay.
So sciatica.
Right. Right. You can get 100 alone for sciatica.
See, I got sciatica.
So did you do EMG to get that rating?
Oh yeah, I've done EMGs. What is that? What they call that nerve conduction study?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what they call it. Yeah.
Man, I've had that thing at least 10, 12 times. Every time is worse than what it was before.
Let me see. Mine was so bad, man. I told you that the doctor stopped because I was bleeding everywhere because he had to go deep to try to find my nerves. He said, you got something else going on with you. You ever been around Agent Orange? He said, I request right now that you go to VA and request a toxicologist report to be done on you. And I went walked that thing to this day. The VA keep pushing me aside. They don't want to do one because they done did the nerve study 2 to 3 times. He said, you have something going on with you chemically in your body. You was around some type of Agent Orange or some type of nerve gases. And I said, yeah, that's normal. He said, no, you was like contaminated, like water. Then he started asking me about the Camp Lejeune. I said, no, I wasn't in Camp Lejeune. And then I said, yeah, but I was in Okinawa, Japan for about almost 8 years. There you go. He said, did you know that they had found those 500 barrels of Agent Orange on the base that you was living on? I like, no. So I went and submitted it. They called me. I forgot what they call it, but it's the government. Not
the CDC. The CDC didn't call you.
No, not CDC. It's the one that does that puts in its records that tell you like where the different types of environmental stuff, something like that. I forgot what.
Oh, okay. EPG or
EPG.
EPA.
Yeah, they called
EPA
me
people.
and they said, "I'm not saying that you don't or you wasn't. We can't expose. Expose any type of that information right now that you did get it where you was at." Because there hadn't been a case or there hadn't been a file yet. But she said, I'm not saying that it's not possible. But right now, since we don't have anything on record right now, we can't do anything about it. Just like the same thing with the Camp Lejeune and the Agent On with the Vietnam people.
See, I told you,
Until
man,
they can't
they
do nothing
wait
yet.
till you're damn near dead, and then they want to say, "Oh, you know what? Now we're going to recognize this when more than half the people are gone. We're going to recognize this now." It's like, come on, man. But I'll tell y'all like this: those of you who have nerve conditions, I don't know how bad y'all's are, but with me, just sitting like I'm sitting right now, I gotta have 2 pillows on my right side. Because if I don't mic and I go to stand up, I'm falling straight down. I have no sensation in my leg. None. That's why I got a caregiver. Because I don't know how bad it is for you guys, but nerve conditions are serious.
Yeah.
That's serious.
Yeah.
Let's see. I had one RN at LHI that got me over the hump. Spent over 2 hours with me to get all my conditions, to get all my many conditions. Okay, sir. Let's see. I had a doctor just like you. Must have been a blessed. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
K Mac said he trying to get 100%. I hear you, K Mac.
You gonna get it.
Let's see. I heard they got rid of FDIC. Yeah, I just did a video on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did away with it. Fully developed claims. Yeah. Well, you can still file a FDC, but they're going to treat it just like a regular claim now. So even though you're filing it, it doesn't make a difference. They're going to still treat it like a regular claim.
You know what, Markel? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you know what? In a way, I looked at that the other day. In a way, that's kind of good for the vets because we was always submitting, I'm done. My claim is fully developed. I have no more information to submit to you. Go ahead and make my decision. But like you said, if it's not fully developed, they do give you a little bit more leg room to start add more stuff.
Correct. Let's see. I'm not poking the bear. Yeah, he's talking about going back and filing for secondary. Like I said, man, it all depends on where you are in the world. Because if I'm in the States, there's a lot of shit I be doing, man, outside of service connection. You can go get seen for anything in the States. It doesn't make a difference what it is. You go outside and break your arm, take your ass right to the VA emergency room. They're going to handle it.
Yep.
But you do that shit here, now you had to come out a credit card, ATM card. You had to come out something. It ain't free. I'm hearing don't file shit new until.
Hey, Markel, can you tell me something about Social Security, right? Okay. I'm thinking about going to apply for that, right? And I have some conditions that probably will get me there. How hard was it for you to apply if you have it? And that goes for you too, Mr. C, if Mr. C is still there. How hard was it for you guys, or did you guys just got tired of the denials and just went straight for a lawyer? What's your guys' take on Social Security for SSDI?
Okay, so when I became 70% TDIU, the person, where was I? I was at a company pen office and I was going to get the copy of my form to get my ID. The lady in there told me to file for Social Security. She's like, "You jacked up. You better file for Social Security." At that time, I didn't know I could. This was 2012, 2011, somewhere like that. And I filed. I got denied the first time and got approved on the second time on the appeal, which there was nothing different. And I told this before. The lady who looked at it was like, "I don't know why you got denied the first time. They should have approved this the first time." So it wasn't that bad for me. It just took 4 extra months from when I originally filed. I wanted on the appeal. I didn't need a lawyer. Okay. But it's well worth it, dude, because you get your retirement early. As long as you have quarters left, you qualify for it, for Social Security disability, right? I advise anybody, if you still qualify, you got quarters left from when you were working, right? I don't care if they give you $1,000 more than you had. Get your benefits, bro. That's what you paid all that insurance for. Now, if you're being denied, because I got a buddy in the States who's been denied several times. He's 100% PTSD, but they will not give him Social Security for whatever reason. It's some people, I don't know what's in his medical records or what they're seeing, but they won't give it to him. But for me, if you're asking me, it's well worth it. I don't care if you need a lawyer, whoever. It is well worth it because you paid for that. You paid the insurance all those years.
Right. Next month makes a year. I've been waiting, and mine's still stuck at 90% to make the decision.
Wow, Mike, it's been a year.
Next month will be a year, December the 8th.
Damn.
What? And that's for your SSDI?
Yeah.
Now on your SSDI, right? From tell me if I'm wrong. That's what I'm asking. You can apply for initially from the time that you got hurt up to like say 12 months, and then the process now you're telling me it's taking a year. So all of that back pay belongs to you?
Yeah.
Or did they change the rule?
Whoa. What do you mean you can file when you got hurt? Explain that part. Victor.
Yes, say it again.
Explain that part. Explain, because you said something about when you got
for
hurt.
the payment. No. So let me explain now, right?
Okay.
Pardon the interruption, right? I said he was saying in his statement that he's been waiting for a year, right, for a response, right? So I said from the initial date that he had got injured and said when he pulled in his application, he was able, or he should be able to go back to the original date and get all of that back pay.
Yeah, he's gonna get all that back pay from the date he filed. That's what the date is gonna go by.
Yeah, date you file. Yeah, it goes from the date you file. See, they denied, like Markel, they denied me the first time I did it, and they denied me right off bat. They didn't even send me through exams or nothing. They just sent the first letter denied. They didn't even look at it, and I went after, when I finally got my 100%. I filed again a year or so later. I had been building, going to doctors, building up more medical evidence and everything. And then when I filed, they accepted it. They started sending me to the exams.
Okay, now what the reason why a couple of my buddies are having issues also is because when they go in front of the judge, based off of their education, right? The guys being penalized for master's degrees and PhDs. They're being penalized. And I don't know if that's fair or am I just, not familiar with the system.
No,
go ahead. Speak on it, please.
I made a video talking about this. Unfortunately, and I'm being 100% real with this, the dumber and the less education you got, the better your chances are of getting Social Security. I'm being 100. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not lying to you. It's even better if you're not even a high school graduate. If you just dropped out 8th grade, okay, you damn near guaranteed to get Social Security. But on the far end, you got multiple degrees. You got all kinds of work that you could possibly do. The less likely you're going to get Social Security. Because with all those degrees and all that education, they're going to find some job you should be able to do. Versus somebody with no skill set and all they ever did was manual labor, there ain't nothing they can do because they got no other skill set. That's how the system is set up. Unfortunately, that's how the system is set up.
Well, then how come if a guy has 100% post-traumatic stress disorder, right? And that's like the worst case scenario. How can you get denied? What can you do at 100%? I mean, socially. All right, go ahead, please.
I'm sorry. They look at it. Not mean to cut you off. They look at it. Well, hell, you can sit at home and do on the work from home on the computer, filing, doing records. Help. Anything from the computer. They'll look at it then and they'll say, well, you can sit at home, do a desk job. You don't have to deal with people because they think that most. Go ahead.
Well, go ahead, Mike. I was just going to say you can go in the office and be a security guard, just monitoring cameras. You ain't got to go nowhere.
Yeah, that's how they look at it.
Bro, I'm telling you, they think of jobs you never think of. They come up with shit. You could be an attendant at a parking lot. All you do is just collect a ticket, give a ticket out. You ain't talking to nobody. You ain't conversing. You just sitting in there by yourself. Okay? They come up with all kinds of stuff you will never think of as a job. But the more degrees you have, the more work experience you have. Because you got to understand what's something with Social Security when y'all fill out them applications. Because when you got degrees and you done a lot of work, we got pride. We want to explain everything to the T that we've done. Oh, so you've been an accountant, so you know how to do accounting work. Oh, so you know how to do HR. Oh, so you know how to do this. All that shit counts against you. Every bit of it. The more education you got, the harder it is because they figured there's some job out there you should be able to do. And to clear up something else, just because you're 100% PTSD, depending on what your doctor writes in your medical file, that does not disqualify you from working. It does not. Honestly, it does not. Because you got to understand, even though the VA and Social Security are both government agencies, they look at things totally different. VA is incremental. Social Security is all or nothing. You either are disabled or you are not. Where the VA will go, okay, you 70%, okay, we'll go ahead and give you TDIU. Well, Social Security will go, okay, you 70%, but that ain't enough. Okay, you're not fully disabled because you got to be fully disabled to get Social Security versus partial with VA. That's another huge difference.
But how about with the work restriction? Because say for like you, Markel, and you, Mr. C, you guys have a radiculopathy, you got issues with your back, you can't sit or stand for 30 minutes, and they deny you.
Right.
Now, when you go back for your appeal with no additional information, right, then they approve you.
Right.
Was that because of a clerical error, or was that because of a glitch in the system?
Discouragement. They try to discourage you, just like the VA.
Right. They want to see if you legitimately disabled. Because if you're disabled, you don't give a damn what they say. You're going to put that shit in again. Versus somebody who is like, I didn't think they were going to give me nothing, so I'm not going to mess with it no more. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then also I don't understand one thing, right, about the Social Security. Well, there's probably many things. I'm lying, right? I said there's one thing. But when it comes to the education, the restrictions as far as work, right, and then also your military, they're supposed to take that in consideration, especially if you're 100%, right?
Right.
Did they take all of that in consideration, and maybe that was the kicker that might have got you accepted or approved? Could that
I honestly don't have an answer for you on that because, like I said, the lady who gave my approval told me, because you can talk to the people that make the decision. Let me make sure you understand, Victor. DDS.
Oh, it's not. You didn't go in front of a judge?
No, dude. I'd have to go to a judge. You got to understand now, the first two processes with Social Security are done by your state. They're not done on the federal level. Your state makes the first two decisions. The only time you go before a judge is for the final decision. That's a federal judge. But the first two decisions are made by your state through the Disability Determination Service, DDS.
Right.
You can call them. You can talk to the person that's actually making the decision. You can find out what it is that they need. You can provide them what they need. That's totally different than the VA where you ain't talking to nobody.
Exactly. I have a caseworker. I have the guy to make the decision. My caseworker. I got his number directly, his email. He'll hit me up, say, hey, can you go do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And I jump right on it. Yeah. He said, or he'll send my wife because she's supposed to be, the one that cares for me. And he'll send her the package too for the exam. It's the same thing. Like to be with me.
Wow.
Yep. See, most people don't know that. Most people think the feds are the one making the decision. No, the state is the one that makes the first two decisions come from the state, not the feds.
Because from the process that My partner, he got denied like 3-4 times so far, and he's getting discouraged, right?
No, because that's what they want you to do. But at the same time, like I said, and I witnessed this, they tell you this, they'll deny you. And also, I had my caseworker tell me, we have all your VA records. We understand. We have all your VA records. I know you just did an x-ray. I know you just had surgery, done this, done that, but I still need you, for my part, I still need you to go do an x-ray. Even if you just did an x-ray or CAT scan, they still need to make their determination. They understand that the VA said you are disabled, but they have to have proof as well. They have to be conclusive. They have to have their doctors to be on the same page with the VA, because they're two different entities.
Pardon me. So you had to go do all that stuff over. For example, a new X-ray, new CAT scan, a new MRI.
Yeah.
Yes,
Bro.
But you just say, please explain. No, please.
That's the same thing. I was getting a little frustrated about it. I was saying, he explained to me, we're a totally different entity than the VA. Whatever the VA say, that don't contain to us. We go our own doctors and everything. He sent me to the last exam I had was a general exam for my flat feet, for my leg, my radiculopathy, for my back, all that. And I came in, had my braces on, all this stuff. They see that. But then they be like, okay, well, we still need our x-ray. We still need our CAT scan to mirror off what the VA saying. That helps, but it don't mean shit to us, basically what he was saying.
Bro, let me help him also. Let me tell you how a lot of people get denied at Social Security. Social Security will send you a form telling you to go see one of their doctors. Okay. What does the person do? They show up. They drove there, because that's one of the first questions they want to know. How'd you get here? Oh, I drove. Well, wait a minute. You just told us your feet are this, your back is this, but you drove yourself here? Okay. And then you get into the exam. They don't remember what foot they said. They don't remember nothing they wrote down.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
And then the psych. I don't know if you remember the psych test, Mike. The psych test. The psych test, they have you sit down. They're going to give you a word. They're going to ask you to remember that word at the end. Then they're going to give you a series of these little puzzles. They're going to have you put together these little whatever it is. And they want to see your mannerism. They want to see if you can remember things and how to put them in place. Because if you can, that means your ass can work. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Okay, I ain't telling y'all this to try to cheat. I'm just telling you how the system works.
I think that information is helpful.
Yeah, I literally couldn't remember the shit. I ain't gonna even lie. He gave me a list of numbers to remember. I said, shit, I better can remember what I ate yesterday. I said, wait a minute, hold on. And I was sitting there thinking, and I was kind of getting frustrated in a way, because they were like, well, I'm gonna give you a hint. They were like, I'm gonna give you a hint. And they said something, and I'm like, and she's like, yeah, that's one of them. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. And I'm sitting there, and she looked at me, she seemed, I was getting frustrated and shit. She said, don't be nervous, because my leg, I was sitting so long, my fucking leg started twitching in my damn hand, because my nerves and shit was fucked up. And I was like, no, I just can't remember. I get, my anxiety kicks in and shit when I get stressed. And she was like, I can see you getting first. Don't worry about it. And she said, let me give you another little hint. And she gave me the hint. I said, oh shit, when I told her, she said, see? She said, but I see you get frustrated. It's not just serious. She said, I can understand it's hard to remember these things and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but no, I said, give me another one. I was just playing it off. I like, because I was serious about it, because I was like, how the fuck can I forget that? And she told me, and she said, nah, not again now. She said, I see, I don't want to stress you out. She said, that's fine. And she moved on. They give you the little puzzle to remember stuff or say shit, man. I ain't gonna even lie, man. My shit went blank like a month. Like I wanted to remember the shit. I was saying it to myself when she told me to remember. I'm like, I'm gonna get this shit. I just want to see if I could do it. But hell no.
And now I don't want to sound like I don't understand, right?
Okay. Hello?
Shit, hello? Social Security to cut him off.
No, but real talk, bro. I'm trying to help y'all out. And again, I'm not trying to tell nobody how to cheat. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm just explaining the process and the questions that are being asked. Okay. It's not like It's not online. People try to teach people every day how to pass these tests online. I'm just telling you the process and what usually get people in trouble, especially when y'all making claims about certain things, like the caregiver program. You need a caregiver, but you drove yourself to the VA to an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell that
Mm-hmm.
sound? I want to think about how that sounds now. I need help. I'm telling the VA I need help, but I show up by myself with nobody.
That's the
I
first
walk
thing they
right
ask you,
in.
Markel. Mm-hmm.
Let me
You
finish.
told me that.
I
You remember
walk,
you told me that a couple of times, man,
yeah,
and you ain't lying.
I
The
walk
first
right
thing
in
they
the
ask.
door, bro. I walk right in the door. No help needed. I opened the door. I sat down. I did everything on my own. They tell you to take off your shoes and socks. Okay, no problem. Took them off. Take off your
Yeah.
braces. No problem. Took them off. And they gonna look at you like, well, what the hell you need help with?
Yeah.
What the hell you need help with? Y'all
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Again, I'm not trying to tell people how to cheat the system. I'm just explaining to you what happens.
And those are the 100% dead on the nail, because that's the first thing they asked me when I told you I got discouraged my last exam and I didn't bring my braces. I was like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck about this shit. The first thing she said, why did you do that? Why did you bring? I was like, she said, where's your wife? I was like, oh, she couldn't make. She's like, you drive? That's the first thing they ask you. How did you get here then? You took a taxi? Or they'll wait to the end of the exam and say, let me walk you to the door. And then say, well, you need to call a cab or something? And that's how they ask you if you drove yourself. Do you need to use the phone to call a cab or something? No. I got, so-and-so waiting on me. Or I got someone come and pick me up. Oh, okay. That's their other trick to see if you drove yourself. That's how they do it.
I'm
So,
telling you,
yeah.
Mike, man, if you think about it, you telling these people you need help, but you did everything on your own without help.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man. Come on,
Real
man.
talk.
No.
Real talk.
Okay. He wrote, my doctor tells me anything is worse. And I'm at 15 years, 100% IUP and T. Doctor tells me I can wait 4 more years till I hit the 20% rule. Okay. Let me help you out with that one. Now, it is true. 20% rule, as long as you're not applying for anything, you good. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Okay. Unless you go out and commit some kind of fraud or unless they can prove fraud. But 20 years, you open up that claim file, same thing, bro. You can wait 22 years. You open up that claim file, you giving them access to your file once again. You can throw them 20-year rule out the window, because you got to understand that rule means basically you done. You're not filing anything. You're not applying for anything. What you got is what you got. But you say, okay, I hit 20 years. Let me put this claim in. Well, that rule just went out the window. Okay.
Yep.
I want you to understand that, because you telling them, okay, reopen my file. Now it is much harder for them to try to reduce it, especially after 20. It's much harder. Not saying it's impossible, but it is much harder. But don't think that 20-year rule protects you just unlimitedly. No. If they find anything in there, bro, as a reason to reduce it, don't think they won't. And I'm being honest with y'all, man. All the exams that I have been through, they will go back and relook and see and verify, yes, you still have this issue, or we got a question about it. We're going to send you to a CMP exam to see if you legitimately have this. Okay? I'm not trying to lie to y'all, man. I'm not trying to give y'all false expectations. I'm trying to give y'all the truth, because these are things we have been through.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That one.
Let's see. I have SMC. Do I qualify for SMCS, etc.? I don't know what you mean by you have SMC. SMC what? I don't know what you mean by that. Sciatic nerve, house nurse, controls your legs along the lumbar. Oh man, I've had I've had all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. Yeah, my back is jacked. But the nerve conduction test range 79. VA finally stops doing reflex tests. Mine's are severe. Yeah, bro. I'm sure, Mike, you've had all of them too. I've had MRIs, nerve conduction, X-rays. They sent me to some therapy thing that's supposed to help with. I've had all kinds of shit, dude. I had a CNP exam for SMCK at LHI. This nurse told me I should file to upgrade my back. Oh, here's one y'all may not be aware of. For those of you who are suffering from, what's it called? Invertebrate back syndrome. Okay. Invertebrate back syndrome. That is one of the number one causes of erectile dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
Repeat that, and you can go see it for yourself in the 38 CFR. I'm going to repeat that. Invertebrate back syndrome. Basically, the nerves of your back are being pinched. Okay. That is one of the leading causes of erectile dysfunction. You want to throw that out there. All right, Victor's back. He got his mic muted.
Yeah, yes, I'm back.
Yeah,
I had missed a few minutes.
Okay, yeah, K-Mac said you going for TDIU. Okay, K-Mac.
Yeah, if you ain't planning on ever working, he retired anyway. So shit, why not?
Oh. Once I become 100%.
Now, hey, I had a question about Colombia, real quick. For in Colombia, and I mean this is just personal. I heard about stem cell research over there. A couple of wrestlers and a couple of athletes that got severely injured went over there to get some in Colombia. I think Medellin or maybe in Bogota, one of those places. Have you heard anything about stem research over there, stem cell research over there?
I've heard about it, but I've never like checked into it or anything. I've heard people talk about it before, but I've never really like investigated anything about it. No.
How about you, Mr. C? How about Mr. C?
Mike?
No. I don't know anything
about
Mike.
No Mike is on. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know anything about no.
I have a question for you guys who have PTSD. Mike, you got PTSD?
Yeah. No. Yeah. PTSD, anxiety, bipolar, all in one. Shit.
Okay. Question for you. Okay. Can you stand being around crowds?
No, it depends on it. I'm gonna put it like this. It depends how many and what type of crowd. For me, just to be honest with you.
How many and what type?
And what type?
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Now, is that like one of your triggers? Like, you like claustrophobic, you like I got to get the hell out of this.
Yes. Like if I see a crowd and I see the potential, that's like I was telling my psychiatrist. I kind of know when there's an asshole, somebody belligerent going to piss me off, so I try to avoid them. Especially if I look around, and I see what type of people are there, I'll get the hell out because I already know my possibility of me getting angry, turning into the Hulk is going to be real good. The greater chance is going to be great. Now, many people, I can, as long as I'm not elbow to elbow with them, especially if it's a sitting environment, but I have to be able to see my exit and my entrance. I cannot have my back.
Right.
I cannot have my back to the door. Put it point blank like that. If I can't sit where I can see people, I'm not going in.
Okay. Victor, he turned his mic off. But I asked that because that was just started from, Mike, is that I had someone ask me about PTSD. I don't suffer from PTSD, but I know several people who do. And normally it's the same. They don't want nothing to do with a whole lot of people. Like they'll shop at Walmart 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning so they can avoid people. They'll order online from Walmart, Amazon, and just have shit delivered because they don't want to be bothered with people. They rather keep to themselves. They're usually hyper vigilant, always checking their six. They want to know what's going on around them. And I told people, notice you in the video, Mike, because you do it all the time. Anytime you're on video, you're going to look left, you're going to look right. You're going to look up at your rearview mirror if you're in your car. And you got your wife. You ain't worried about behind, but you always going to look in front and side to side. You always going to check your six. I told people, man, when people got PTSD, they hyper vigilant. They're always checking. Okay, because you need to be in control of the situation. You need to be in control.
Exactly.
But here's my thing. I got sent this picture, and the guy was like, "Well, this guy got 100% PTSD, and he goes to this every day." And I'm like, "I don't know about that." Can you see that picture, Mike?
Oh, hell no to the no. Bruh,
Do you see that picture?
bruh, that ain't
Now,
happening.
I can see it.
I can see it, but it ain't gonna happen with me going no shit like that.
y'all tell me, people with PTSD, you can deal with this on a daily basis
No.
because that's what's here. This is how these people get around. And I'm
Okay, I'm
like,
gonna tell you,
I ain't got PTSD, but ain't no way in hell I'm going through that.
but I'm gonna tell you something,
Yeah.
It ain't
man.
happening.
With me, just like I tell my psychiatrist, I'm gonna put it like this. My biggest fear, not just that I'm hyper vigilant, because I know my anger. That's for one thing. I've been trying to learn how to control it. I know my anger. It ain't gonna take much for me to lose my freedom. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I got my name Love and Freedom, because I know what I do if if I somebody provoke me, I'm gonna lose my freedom. And I don't want to lose it because I black out, bro. When I get so angry, I don't know what'll happen.
That's why I was saying earlier, man, people get so frustrated that they get outside themselves. They don't even know where they are. They don't know what they did. They don't remember nothing till it's over and people tell them, bro, do you know what you just did? They have no idea.
Let me tell you a small thing that happened a couple of days ago. My wife and I were somewhere. We actually was at the casino, I think, in Tucson or somewhere. And this guy won. We walked by, he screamed and yelled, and I jumped like, "What the fuck is this guy yelling so loud for?" When I passed him, he threw his hand out, and it didn't dawn on me till after he had said it, bro. I had to maintain composure. I didn't even bring it back up to my wife. I know she heard it. This guy said, "That's what's up, my nigga," and he put his hand. Boy, I had, bro. You don't know how much it took me not to hear what he said. I mean, and he wasn't black, first of all, and I'm like. This is why sometimes I don't deal with people, man, because that kind of shit right there kind of pissed me off. At the same time, I let it slide. That was like saying, okay, you can control it a little bit if you just ignore some of the shit that go on around you. So those are the examples that I care not to even be around that type of stuff, man, because I know it'll piss me off. It'll provoke me. It ain't no but no devil trying to provoke me to bring that Hulk out. That Hulk ain't been out in a while, and I don't want that Hulk to come out because I can't control the motherfucker. I'm gonna be honest with you. And in my notes, man, my psychiatrist got in the VA notes saying, as he say, he considered the other half of him as the Hulk. They put it in my notes.
Hey, let me read this real quick because Mr. Lawson is correct. This is for the grid rules. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the grid rules, but if your medical records are current and you're 100% P&T and over 50 years old, that is very important. Over 50, I think it's actually over 49, if I'm not mistaken. Social Security disability gets easier to get approved. Correct. And it's called the grid rules. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the grid rules, but the grid rules are basically a guideline for people who are over, I believe it's the age of 49, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 50 or 49. That once you get to a certain age, right, it becomes much harder for you to enter the workforce or to even get a job because of your age. Most companies are not really looking for a 55-year-old whatever or whatever the age is. You understand what I'm saying? But this is a set of guidelines that are called the grid rules. And that's helped a lot of people get Social Security.
You know what? That might make sense too, Monkey, because I thought about that. When I put in for Social Security over 4 years ago, I was right at 50. So I'm 54 now. And I was like, when I put in for it, they didn't hesitate. I mean, like I said, I didn't submit nothing different. You know, I did the same thing.
Right.
And they grabbed it.
Yeah. Once you hit 49, it's either 49 or 50, but Google the grid rules. Look up the grid rules, guys. I kind of gave a short version of it, but yeah, that definitely helps. I was denied because I had too much education and skill.
Wow.
Those people have to get lawyers. Now you have voc rehab specialists. I'm telling you, the more education you have, the harder, unless you're like us, fucked up. I'm gonna just call it frankly, okay?
Right.
Because I got 2 degrees. I got a 2-year degree for HVAC. But bro, when you fucked up and they know you fucked up, hey, it doesn't, education don't matter at that point. But if you're like borderline and they're looking at your educational background, the more education you got, the harder it becomes. In your hearings, okay. Brothers giving gems to get paid. Now, I ain't trying to tell nobody how to cheat. I'm living proof. Okay. Let's see. I heard if a veteran dies with 100% P&T before having it for 20 years, they can't pass it to his family. Having 100% P&T for 20 years can be passed to your family. Have you heard of this before? Now no. Okay. Let's say a veteran passed today. He 100% P&T. That's going to depend. Like if he has dependents that are under the age of, what is it, Mike? 22?
23.
23. They can get half, because they're not going to get his whole amount. They can get half. I believe it's half of what he gets. The same thing with a spouse. Now, with a spouse, is going to depend on how long you've been married. Because if you just got married yesterday and you die, she ain't getting nothing.
Nothing.
And she ain't getting a dime.
And it also depends on the condition.
Correct.
What he died for.
They got to die from a service-connected condition. Most people don't know that.
Broke ankle ain't gonna get them paid.
Most people think that when you die and you're 100% P&T, that family automatically gets it. No. If you die from a service-connected disability, yes. Your spouse, depends on how long you've been married, and your kids, yes. But if it wasn't from a service-connected disability,
Yeah. That's why a lot of people be pushing to try to get that sleep apnea approved, them diabetes, all that stuff.
Right.
Right.
Stroke,
now, if your claim, if you're 100% P&T and you have been diagnosed with these things, then I see it's worth it putting in for your 100% if you have the medical evidence to support that. But if you just ran and got one little evidence from the doctor, hey, see, I have this, I have sleep apnea, I have this, and you haven't been service connected for it, and it don't look like you're gonna get service connected, because that's hard to get right now, sleep apnea. And you run and try to open your claim back up to try to submit a sleep apnea claim, you might lose your damn 100% P&T trying to. I ain't telling you. I don't know everybody's conditions. I don't know everybody's story, but at the same time, if you have that medical evidence and it's strong, and you got an outside doctor, you have that nexus letter, you got all this that say that it's possibly due to your service connection, then hey, it's worth the shot. But if you just went to one sleep study and they say, oh yeah, you need a CPAP, they'll give everybody a damn CPAP, like Markel said before, and them damn blue pills, but that don't mean they're gonna give you service connected.
Correct. While you in the States, they'll give you anything. You want a scooter? Shit, let the doctor sign off on you. Gonna get a scooter. It don't make no difference what it is in the States. You leave the States, oh, you in a whole different ball game. You in a whole different situation here. Let me say this real quick about Social Security, Mike. Okay. Let's say you and your spouse, or your spouse is on Social Security, retirement, right? You ran out of quarters. You just turned 62 years old. You can file off of your spouse's Social Security. It doesn't reduce their Social Security. You get a separate check based upon what your spouse gets. Okay? In case you all didn't know that, I'm going to repeat that. Let's say your spouse turned 62 and filed for Social Security. You don't have any more quarters. You chill the whole time, just getting VA disability. You getting ready to turn 62, say in January. When you turn 62, you can go right down to Social Security and file for retirement based on your wife's Social Security or your husband's Social Security.
Right.
Okay.
Let me add on to that one too, Markel. Even also the same way you just said, if that spouse has been deceased and you're not 62, are you 62? Right. File on theirs and then wait till you 67 and file for yours to get the full. Ride theirs until you're 67, and then change yours to yours right off your spouse.
And it works the same way with kids. And it works the same way if you have a child that is taking care of you, one of your kids, and something happen, God forbid, they die, you can file off their Social Security benefits as long as you are the natural parent or the adoptive parent and you have legal proof. You can file off theirs. Social Security has many different ways for you to collect their person's Social Security because they paid into the system. It's only fair. Whereas the VA, your ass don't die from service connection. Well, hopefully you had insurance. That's all I can say for that. They always ask, how did you get there? I tell them Uber. Okay, man.
But if you lying, they looking out that window when you get out that damn get out that damn Mercedes. Yeah, they gonna say, okay, Uber ain't pulling you up. You driving the damn Uber. You must be the Uber driver. Shit.
They watching, bro. Don't think they ain't watching. They watching. Let's see. I was like Toby from the movie Roots at my SSDI.
Damn.
Let's see. VA told me the 20-year applies to 20 years. That told me after 20 years they can't reduce. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Wayne. They cannot reduce it if you don't file. You're talking about filing a claim after 20 years. Well, think about it. You just told them, okay, I'm giving you permission to re-look at my file again. That's totally different. If you did nothing after 20 years, you just, okay, I ain't got no reason to file shit. I'm not doing anything. They got no reason to reduce it. It's different when you file a claim. You got to remember, guys, anytime you file a claim, you're opening your file up again for them to go through it. Now, like I said, it is much harder, 20 years of having a disability, for them to reduce it. But once you give them permission to go back in your file, which is what you would be doing, they can go in there and try to find something.
Yep. You talking about the government? Hell, they do what the hell they want to.
If you're 100% P&T and never file anymore, what would make the VA? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're 100% P&T. You never file a claim unless they suspect you of fraud. They have no reason whatsoever to ever touch your file again. Period. Point blank. Never. No reason whatsoever. For me and my PTSD hell, no, it's a trigger. I'm gone before I see the light. It's on. Okay. Yeah, you got triggers. Mr. Man, how you doing? Mr. Man got a new picture.
No, wait a minute.
You didn't see Mr. Man new picture? He ain't got his pimp cap on.
Oh, yeah. There he is. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Man got a new pic. I'm surprised he ain't got some of that what you call it? That loud.
That loud. He got that loud.
I'm surprised he got
I see him showing his guns. He must have been hanging out with Howard.
Yeah, he out there showing the muscles. I see you, Mr. Man. How you doing, Markel? I was originally diagnosed with depression by a civilian doctor. I just recently been diagnosed with PTSD, and I get pissed off when people get too close for almost anything. Okay, I hear you, man. And that's what I've heard about most people with PTSD. They just can't stand being around people because when they were in whatever situation they were in with conflict, bro, you know, they were always hypervigilant, checking around them. Like, okay, don't get too close. Just keep your distance. Don't talk to me from over there. You ain't got to get that close to me.
J Love, don't lie, man. You just a Marine and you're just an asshole. That's all.
This is why I'm at home on holidays, except Thanksgiving. I'm here by myself. Can't do big family gatherings. Getting to talk shit, alcohol around is going to be me in jail. Oh, I hear you, bro.
Yeah.
I hear you. And look, I hear you. Usually when they want all these x-rays and MRI, said they are done by them, not the VA, so they can get more money. Oh, yeah. Like I said, third parties, they looking to collect. Let's see. Even at my place of employment as an electronic tech, my supervisor allows me to work alone. If it was not for him and this being a union shop, I would have been fired years ago. Okay. Cool. Man, that's called a sheltered work environment. You should let them know. Hopefully you told them this, man, because that's a sheltered work environment. It's called DIC benefit. If I die, my daughter gets DIC benefits. If I die from a service-connected disability, this is known 20 years, 100% P&T rule, get DIC benefit. I checked it. Yeah. It's got to be service-connected, guys. If it ain't service-connected, unfortunately, most don't know that. Love and freedom. A lot of people don't know that.
They think now that they die, they die regardless what it is. They stomp their toe and they die. They're gonna get the spouse or the kid's gonna get the benefit. No.
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 No. Okay, and now who was that? USA reminded me last night, and I had spoken about this before. Next year, they're going to offer life insurance.
Oh, really?
You don't remember me talking about this?
Hold on. I ain't hearing about USA.
Yeah, well, he left me a message on a video I did, and I told him that I'll say it again. But I made like 2 videos talking about this, that in January of next year, the VA is going to offer life insurance to all veterans. I think up to the age of, is either 82 or 85, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And then Uncle Allen came on one time and we talked about it, and he was giving out the amounts because they got the amounts. If you go to va.gov and you look up life insurance, you look at your age and you can see, because I believe for me, it's going to be like close to, I want to say $45 or $50 a month. And I think it's like $35,000 or $40,000, something like that, worth of life insurance. It's enough to put your ass in the ground, cover you up, throw some flowers, and somebody to have a party. Go out and get a little drink, whatever they're going to do.
Yeah.
That's enough bet. Okay.
Yeah, USA stepping their game up, man. That's why I said from years I've been dealing with them, because they got it's one-stop shop: car insurance, health insurance, all that.
Man, I used to have everything with USAA, but here I have the local health insurance that I'm getting ready to go to their top plan in January. That's going to cost me another $100. But bro, they got levels here like they got in the States. Because when I had her explain my health insurance, I got basic health insurance right now. Bro, that shit don't do nothing.
No.
That shit. Bro, that health insurance here, they call the ambulance. They look at your ID to see what kind of health insurance you got. You got basic insurance, they'll get around to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
You got their top insurance, they selling a helicopter. They come to get you. So I was like, you know what? Come January 1, put me on that plan. So that plan I'm on right now is about $25 a month. I'm about to go to a plan that's $65 a month. Fuck that.
Yeah. You right about that health insurance, man. Just like my dad, my dad, damn near 80 years old, went back home and the ambulance went and picked him up. And my mom called me and I rushed to get there. I get to the hospital probably about an hour or so later because I had to drive from out of town. Hell, they done sent my dad on Medicare or whatever, Medicare. They had his ass back in the waiting room. Now you're going to pick him up in the ambulance, but you're going to send him back out in the waiting room. Man, I went the fuck off and I put him on blast and I filmed the boy. When I start seeing me put him on blast, hey, they put it back there in the room real quick, boy. I went in there filming how dirty it was and everything, boy. They was shit. They hit her up, boy. I said, let me talk to you, supervisor. Boy, they had to call her on her day off. Yeah, hey, boy, y'all finna get some movement going up in here, man. They took him and set him back out in the waiting room. Now, you're going to pick somebody up in the ambulance, but you're going to put him back out in the waiting room.
Bro, as soon as they find out what type of insurance you got, yeah. It makes, people don't want to believe that, man, but I'm telling you, it makes a difference the type of insurance you got. When they look at your ID and they see that symbol on your ID, this motherfucker here paying how much? Oh, go get him.
Yeah.
Don't, no, go get him right now. And then you out there paying $15? Nah, we'll get to him.
hey, they treat it like a tier at the casino, huh? That motherfucker platinum. He a big baller. You'll get free gift, motherfucker.
Hey, you ain't lying, man. At the casino, platinum. You got emerald. No, how's it go? You got gold and platinum.
No, you get silver. You get silver, gold, platinum, triple platinum,
ruby, emerald. Yeah, you want them emeralds, ruby. Your ass in that line like a food stamp line. You gold or platinum, they go before you. You've been sitting there waiting 10 minutes. They come up. Yeah. Oh no, you come on. You're a whale. You got money. The rest of them over here, they playing with pennies.
Hey, you fuck up and get in that wrong line, and you be in that high roller line, and you step up to the counter. You just see them. They be like, "Don't you ever get back in that damn line again."
I'm serious, man. That's how things go. Matter of fact, bro, at the airport, for y'all that have never flown first class, let me explain how first class works. So we were kind of talking about this in the last live, right? Okay. So with my Delta reserve card, I get to stand in a separate line. I get service right away. I don't even care if I'm taking 3 suitcases and they all 100 pounds each. They don't give a shit. They just going to throw it right on the conveyor belt because of the status of my card. Once I get my ticket, Love and Freedom, you ever notice when you go to the airport, there's 2 lines at the gate before you go to security.
Right.
There's one line for general admission.
Mission, yep.
Other line for VIP.
P.
And when you give them that ticket, they're going to wave you to one line or the other. Okay?
Mhm.
My line is the short line. Going through security, oh, they're going to say, first class. Okay, you over here. I go through, ain't nobody in my line for security. I go straight through. Boom, I'm done. Once I get through with that, bro, you know what's next? The lounge. I take my car, I go straight to the lounge. I don't see nobody. In the lounge, ain't nobody bothering you. Those people got business meetings or whatever they got going on. They got food sitting there, they got drinks sitting there, and they got a couch there if you want to lay down. Cool.
Right.
I'm golden. That's how that works with first class. That's how I fly. Flying on coach, y'all can have that.
You get what you pay for, as they say.
Y'all can have that. I'm sorry. I can't do that. Unless I don't have a choice. Like here, I have to fly coach, JetBlue, or to go to Fort Lauderdale. I don't have a choice. Because their first class here, bro, is just upgraded coach. It ain't really first class.
Damn.
You get
just an extra leg room.
You get a little bit more leg room. That's it. And they don't have a middle seat. That's it. There's no like, we coming to give you this, so we gonna get the headphones, the pillow, and all that. Nah, I ain't doing none of that. Ain't none of that here.
Right. Hey, Marquez, I hate to run, man. I told you I was just putting my feet on the ground. I hear
you, man, because I'm getting ready to get up off here. Let's see. Life is until 81 years old, 10K up to 40. Okay, it's 81. I know it was 80 something. 10K up to 40K for the insurance. Yeah, you can go to the VA's website. It's all there. You can see your age. Now, the question I would have is, what if you overseas? That's going to be my first question to them, and I'm going to have an answer to that once they open it up.
All right, bro. I'll get up with you later.
All right, Mike. Appreciate you coming on, man.
No, appreciate you having me, brother. Later.
Have a good one. Thank God for VA and Medicare Advantage. Is Blue Cross Blue Shield. Yeah, K-Mac. You right, K-Mac. Now, in the States, and I'm going to end this with this, guys, and I'm going to be real with y'all. There's a bunch of y'all in here listening right now. You should apply if you want to be buried at the National Cemetery. Apply now. Get it out the way. Do not leave all that for your family, because they don't know what to do. Okay, and it's not automatic. We've talked about this before. Nothing at the VA is automatic when you move on from this life. You have to apply. Okay, the whole bereavement ceremony, you have to apply for all of that in advance. Go ahead and apply. Once you are approved, take that paperwork along with anything else you got of value. My suggestion, put it somewhere like a safety deposit box, so you let one of your kids or whoever you entrust knows where to get this information and they know what to do. Please do not leave it to your family, because they won't have a clue. They will be clueless. They will be lost on what to do, because they're going to think the VA is going to call them and do it automatically. They are not. They're going to have to try to fill out that application, and they're going to try to have to get it all done. And this is something you can do while you're here. So again, please, if you want to be buried in the National Cemetery, you want the VA to handle some of these arrangements, because they're not going to handle it all. Some of these arrangements, please get the life insurance. Please fill out the form for where you want to be buried, so you can get this tombstone. You can get I think you get the 21 gun salute. I can't remember on that one, but you have to apply for everything with the Department of Veterans Affairs. Nothing is automatic. Nothing. Okay, guys. Hey, that's going to be it, man. Hopefully we gave out some information to help you guys out today. And with that being said, that's going to be it for me. You all enjoy the rest of your day, and happy Thanksgiving.